Shock Monkey Radio is entertainment for adults, by adults, and the views and opinions expressed here do not reflect upon the sponsors or FXBG Public Radio. For additional information, please refer to the United States Bill of Rights. Stand warned. How are we doing? We had some technological differences.
Shock Monkey Radio is entertainment for adults, by adults,
did it
and
to
the
you.
views and opinions expressed here do not.
We had some audio problems, some technological differences, and EK's settings were way too loud when I came in there, and he's like, ah! And then I just did it to myself. How about that? Well, I guess the audio is working.
How are we doing? We had some.
What the hell?
The audio sounds great.
All right. It works! All right. Well, we usually do a cold open or whatever like that, so we'll just do the show as it is right now. We'll start it. We can start the show now. All right. Well, we'll do the welcome thing first. How about that? Welcome to Shock Monkey Radio. I'm your host, the Madman. I want to remind you again, I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Become a patron today. I would appreciate that very much. Or you can send me money through Cash App. Use the hashtag shockmonkeyradio, all one word. Send me money through Cash App. Over there, you can see me on social media. Twitter at DNALETSAW. That's the word wasteland spelled backwards. And at SLRobbins13 on Instagram. All right. Superman. I think Superman would be a flake. Seriously, I think he would be a flake. For example, Superman comes flying in, right? And he's got two guys by their belts, and the mayor's doing Mayor Metropolis is doing a press conference about these cat burglars that have been hitting businesses all over town. And then Superman flies in with these two guys by the belts, drops them down. The chief of police comes out and arrests them. And Superman says, "You're not gonna have any trouble from these cat burglars anymore, Mr. Mayor." And they're like, "Oh, Superman, yay, Superman!" And then someone runs over. And they're like, "Oh, I'm from the American Red Cross. I'm the social media director of the American Red Cross. We're doing a blood drive tomorrow. Superman, could you come to the blood drive tomorrow? We'll have a needle break against your skin, and you could say to the camera, something like, I can't give blood, so you have to, Metropolis, that kind of thing." And Superman's like, yes, of course I'll come to your blood drive. I'll come to your blood drive and help you get the blood they need. But the blood drives, and then the American Red Cross, they fund a rush order for this big tapestry to put behind Superman for the cameras and everything like that. Has the Superman symbol on it and stuff like that. Rush job. They had to pay extra for it. They got it all set up. They got the cameras. They got the news showing up. Superman's not there. Where? Where is he? Where's Superman? Superman, he's off on Apocalypse fighting Darkseid. So he's not keeping his appointments. He's a flake. And you know what? Those two cat burglars he brought in, they arrested him. The prosecutor and the defender are sitting there arguing in the courtroom. It's like you only have one. You have all the circumstantial evidence about these two cat burglars you claim they are, but you only have one witness that has actually seen them breaking into somewhere, and that's Superman. And where is he? Where is Superman? Where is Superman? He's doing a Marvel DC crossover event. He's hanging out with Thor and Captain America. You know what I'm saying? So he's not there to provide testimony, put these cat burglars away. So they let him walk. Superman is a flake. And how many times? Ask Lois Lane. Ask Lois Lane. How many times has Lois Lane been sitting in a restaurant and she's like, "Fine, give me the menu. I guess he's not coming. I'm just going to have to order something and eat alone in a restaurant. Again, thank you, Clark. I'll have the coq au vin." Superman is a flake. And then normally at this point I'd say, "Welcome to Shock Monkey Radio."
Why are you not saying that?
Oh, welcome to Shock Monkey Radio. I already did at the beginning. Because I had to explain the technological issues. Because there are people waiting at 2 o'clock. Dry. Cold and dry. I may be drinking a lot of water. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I sure did. I did have the TriStar horse dream nightmare this past weekend. You know the one, right? The horse comes running out. It sprouts wings and starts flying. The triumphant brass, swelling behind this mutating horse, mutating into a Pegasus. Oh,
that?
TriStar.
TriStar?
Yeah, back in the 90s. That stuff has been nightmares. The first time I saw it as a kid. Then it was a comedy I was watching. And there a horse coming? You know how scary Pegasus are? Imagine if you are driving down the street and this big clump of horse shit comes crashing into your windshield. Horses are meant to fly. No. That's a bad dream. Let's talk about the invention of kissing. When did we come up with that? When did we invent kissing? Like when you see like babies are constantly putting stuff in their mouths. It's kind of how it's like the most sensitive area on our human faces is kissing. You can bring up Betty and Veronica. When did we invent that? I mean, I imagine that mouths were sometimes like involved. People rubbing their lips on parts of like cavemen rubbing their lips on a chick. I guess there's a lot of hair sniffing, and then maybe it like evolved into what the Inuit do, the Eskimos, where they rub the noses and stuff like that. But at one point, somebody said, "Hey, I have an idea. Let's press our mouths together." And they're like, "Where we put our food?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "But toothbrushes haven't been invented yet. Why would you want to do that?" Well, I don't know. Just bored. Tired of doing it the same way, caveman style. Because back then, what did they have? Like one position, maybe two, as cavemen. I mean, hugging has always been a part of it. I mean, there's a like forever because you had to like grab the woman, hold her down. So I mean, hugging was always a part of it. And so, but at what point did let's press the mouth parts of our faces together? And what kind of evolution? I mean, that led into all like toothbrushes and mouthwash. And then humans discovered tobacco, and then like, oh, now we're set back another 50 years. But when did kissing become a thing? And then the French got a hold of it, and where it's all downhill then since. They had to make it more gross. You know what I mean? I was wondering, it's like, who was the caveman that invented kissing? Or was it, do you think the women invented it? They're like, I got to get something out of this. How about I kiss you on the mouth?
Kiss you right on the mouth.
Kiss you on your mouth. Anyway. I was looking up Kissing Booth, and there's this like chick flick movie that just keeps coming up. And I put in you should never do this when you're searching. I don't know why I was so stupid, because I was looking, I searched Kissing Booth for an image for this. And it was this movie I'd never seen that I would never want to see. Some teen romance, some girl I guess is kissing a bunch of guys. And so I searched Kissing Booth, not movie, trying to find something other than this. And it was the movie still came up. You can't do that. Why are you looking at me like that?
How much time did you put into this?
Searching for this image?
For this movie.
What movie?
This Kissing Booth movie.
I wasn't looking for the Kissing Booth movie.
It sounds like you're looking for the movie.
I was looking for a Kissing Booth, like they used to, like there's tons of Archie comic books, okay? That Kissing Booths. It used to be a thing, but now it doesn't happen anymore because somebody wised up. It's like, this is silly and degrading. And so, but this movie kept coming up, and I was like, that's not what I want. And I miss those old ways of search strings anyway. It used to be easier to search for things back in the 90s and 2000s. Now it's a pain in the butt. Google is just, when it comes to searching for stuff that you're looking for, like I was looking for a very specific image, and I couldn't find it. Anyway. So I don't know when kissing got invented. I want to move on. So, we had a Thanksgiving. You had Thanksgiving, right? And when you have Thanksgiving, you have your family around and stuff like that. And sometimes this question may come up. It's like, hey, madman, why have you never been married? And they're like, does it have anything to do with like people wanting people to call you madman? He's like, no. Well, kind of. And it's not an offensive question to ask somebody my age. I'm pushing 50, 47 years old, and never been married. And somebody may ask, why have you never gotten married? And it's a fair question to ask. It doesn't hurt my feelings or anything like that. But, when you're in mixed company, when your niece is there and the little kids are at the table and stuff like that, you got to kind of like truncate or like edit the reasons. But it does deserve a coherent and comprehensive answer. There we go. I found the word. And so I came up a list with the top 10 reasons. I don't know if EK could pull up like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. If you can. I don't know. He's playing with the audio still. His eardrums hurt.
Do we have a count list? Do we have something like that?
I just have a list of the 10. If you want to pull up numbers. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. We do a top 10 list of the reasons I have not been married ever. And I tried to be fair about this. I tried to be objective about it, but you'll see it's hard to do. So number 10 reason I never got married is kind of obvious. I'm ugly. And so, came up in my hair, my full head of hair. That's not ugly. It gets unkempt.
What was your face?
Number 10 is my face. It's ugly, you know? And objectively speaking about how ugly I am, I think it's just basically the weight and the teeth, you know? But even then, when I was like, I had a boot camp pick coming out of the Navy, and I was thin then, coming out of boot camp, and I had my mouth closed in the pictures. I uploaded to hotornot.com. And even then, I was only a 6.3. And they couldn't see my teeth and the fact that I get way heavier as time goes on. So even at my best, I'm only a 6.3. And now I'm like 4. So I'm ugly. I mean, and it's not unreasonable to ask. You giving me a 6.3? Okay.
I was saying 10.
We're on number 10 now.
6.3.
I'm not a 6.3. So I mean, it's okay to say I'm not attracted to somebody because it's happened to me. You know, there's plenty of 3s that hit on a 4 like me, and I'm just like, nah, you don't do it for me. You know, it's completely reasonable. No hard feelings. All right, number 9, the vanity. The makeup, the wardrobe, the constant preening, the constant, the social media especially. And, and when all these girls out there, there's women, and they're out there and they're bragging about how many followers they have. You understand that all the likes you get and all the followers you get are all dudes who want to bang you. All right? It's the most passive aggressive way to flirt with a chick is to like a bunch of her videos, like a bunch of her. It's like stalking Rebecca Felgate digitally. It's ridiculous. It's never going to work out. But let's be honest, pretty people get more viewers, get more followers, and stuff like that. All right. But the fact that you're putting your ass out there on the internet. The fact that you constantly care about how you look, saying things like I'm not going to leave the house unless I have put my face on and something like that. Stop. The vanity drives me nuts. Okay, that's number 9. Number 8. I'm intolerable. If you haven't already figured that out by now, especially if I get in a mood. EK will tell you. If I get in a mood, I am very intolerable. The phrase "psychic vampire" has been thrown out a time or two about me. And but I haven't been in one of those moods in a while. Are you drinking beer? Oh, is that okay? Water. Okay. So, but I mean, I've got a good medication thing going on. I haven't had a mood in a while, so I'm pretty intolerable. But I mean, it's not as bad as it has been. Number 7. Yeah, we did 8. Okay, 7. The tattoos. The tattoos are getting ridiculous. I could understand, like, you got a cute little thing on your ankle, even a tramp stamp. I mean, it's got a bad rep, but a tramp stamp by itself is cool. But now you got these women with sleeve work. You got women with tattoos on their faces, on their necks, on their chests, like right above their tits. And you're like, I don't want to look at a pentagram because I'm going to be looking down there anyway. And I've just had enough of it. And if you're like with a girl who has all those tattoos, it's just too masculine. How do you not figure this out? It's gross. I feel like I'm banging an inmate. Enough with the tattoos. And plus the fact that you like tattooed men. I don't know. It's trashy. God, I sound like my grandmother. Anyway, number 6. I haven't wanted to work in tech since 2005. And that's a whole story all of its own. Basically, there's no creative leeway in the tech sector. I used to be a systems administrator, administrating systems like Windows networks and Unix networks. Do it back in the command line days. I don't know, they probably still do command line stuff in Unix. But I was pretty good at it, but making good money. But, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in that business anymore. And when women find out that, like what I do as compared to what I could do based upon my skill level, they're like, why aren't you doing the thing that pays more? And it's hard to explain to these gold diggers, to women, that money isn't everything, And when it comes to my sanity, I'd rather not make as much as I possibly could, just so I could stay sane, so I don't walk into work one day and start blasting. You know what I mean? Because I felt like that was kind of where I was going. So I had to do something about it. Luckily, like I said, I got some treatment and stuff like that. I haven't had one of those psychic vampire moods in a while. So these gold diggers, they don't really understand. And there's a difference between like gold diggers. It's not as offensive a term as you think it might be, because everyone is concerned about their capability to stay alive. You know what I mean? And so when you have children, and women obviously are the ones who bear children, they are concerned about like, you know, if I'm going to be pregnant or like postpartum depression or something like that. I want somebody around who's going to still go to work and provide for the family. And women should expect that from a man, that they're going to provide for them. But at a certain point, you understand it gets beyond providing. It gets beyond, and it starts getting into the gold digging territories. Like, I need a man who's going to do my nails. I want to be a man who's going to pay to do my hair. I want to be a man who's going to pay for do a housekeeping so I don't have to clean. So because I keep my nails nice, you know what I mean? So I don't have to do any cleaning. I want somebody who's going to hire a babysitter. You know, what are they called? Nanny. So I don't actually have to be a mother. I need to be out at a 5-star restaurant every night eating meals. Do you understand? At a certain point, it gets into the gold digging territory. Anyway, number 5. Halfway break. Number 5, baggage. I think the Bible says, you know, you should be equally yoked with your partner. And that's the Brady Bunch scenario. Guy with 3 boys, woman with 3 girls. They meet up, they're equally yoked. And every single Christian in America loves the Brady Bunch. You know what I'm saying? But I have no kids. I have no STDs. I have a body count of 4. All right? And the only reason I'm saying that is so that you have some data to work with for your own reference. Like, for example, in order to determine like X greater than 4. So you know that, you know, where X is the body count of every other woman in the world. And so there's no way I could find somebody at 47 who is equally yoked. So a 47-year-old woman, my age, who I'm attracted to, who has no kids, no STDs, no tattoos, and a body count less than 4. You know where I got to hunt for girls who have a body count less than 4? Middle schools. Okay? And I'm not doing that. Mostly because it's illegal. And because, ew, what would I have in common with a middle school girl? What are they? Is Powder Puff Girl still a thing? I don't know. So, what can I do? I'm screwed. I'm going to die alone. Anyway, number 4. I live with my parents. Like every other profile that you see on dating sites is like, I don't want a guy who lives with his parents. I guess I understand that, but you know, my parents are. If I'm 47, imagine the age of my parents, and they're getting up there in years. My sister has her own family, so I have to watch out for my folks. So I'm doing what I have to do, and if you don't find that to be noble, you know, if you don't find that to be the right thing to do, and I don't want to get involved with the guy that lives with his parents. Well, I'm taking care of them in the last years of their life, as they took care of the first years of me in the first years of my life. That's what a responsible person does. And if you're not interested in the guy who's responsible, then go ahead and move on. I really don't care. Yeah, I live with my parents. I have a part-time job, helps me pay my bills, and I have this shitty YouTube channel. And they're like, well, why don't you just get a job back working a top secret job in the government? And you're doing, because it's not about money, you freaking gold diggers. Number 3 reason I haven't got married yet. You could be a dude. In this day and age, in the nonsense that a lot of women have propagated, like, oh, the transgender thing, it's like the new gays, we got to support them. And it's like, no, it isn't. It's absurdity. And now it's gotten to a point where they're like, dudes have infiltrated girls. And so I could be attracted to some girl, making out with her in the bathroom of a bar, because I do that a lot. And she gets a boner. He gets a boner. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want a crying game scenario. Plus, it could be like retroactive if you wanted it to. Ladies. Like, say I meet a girl. We're making out in the bathroom of a bar, which happens a lot. She is a woman. We meet, we get married, stuff like that. Maybe even have a kid. And then she decides, oh, I'm a man. I want to go get surgery and hormones and stuff like that. Now I'm a man. And it's more likely in that scenario because women are, what's the word? Susceptible to trends? Weak-willed. That's what I meant. Number 2. I like being alone. I'm a loner. I like to think my thoughts. You know, I'm a writer. And women simply do not want to put any effort into a relationship. So a loner, they don't want to put any work into like get to know that guy. And so, because I mean, why would they? Because if you're a good-looking woman, you got tons of guys coming to you all day long. So why would I go past all these guys coming to me to go meet that guy? Why put in any effort? And that's why I'm not interested in you if you're not interested in putting in any effort. Because what kind of spouse would you be if you're not willing to work? Anyway, and I like being alone. I mean, I don't know, my natural state. Sometimes I think that when we die, we become part of the collective unconscious, and we're constantly with people. And I'm one of those souls that's like, finally, I'm in a body away from everybody again. There's got to be some souls in heaven, if you believe in like reincarnation or something like that. Just can't wait to get back in a body again and be alone. And the number one reason I haven't got married is I don't want to marry a woman who would kill or mutilate, castrate our child. Because that is a real problem these days. You can change it to 1. The number one reason is I don't want to marry a woman who will abort a baby, who has ever aborted a baby, or would be willing to castrate a child. Say, the little girl picked up a G.I. Joe, she must be a boy. Ridiculous stuff like that. You know why? Because women are susceptible to trends. What weak-willed? So I don't want to marry a woman like that because I think you're serial killers. So many of you are serial killers. You know, you can see all this ads, or there's like like Instagram reels or something like that, and there's a girl going like baby killer. Kill babies. You hate babies. You kill them. It's like that. And they're so on board with it. So many of them. It's like, my body, my choice. Is like, what about the baby's body? It came from my body. It's a whole other creature with separate DNA. It's a whole other person. That's the top 10 reasons why I have never gotten married. All right. Well, I know we started late, but we can skim through the news. I was thinking about phrases we don't hear anymore. Like price check on Pampers. Price check on Pampers. No, if you go up to the little thing, go beep. That's how much Pampers are. Can I come inside and use your phone? When was the last? I was watching a movie from the 90s. That's the TriStar thing. And this person in the movie said, can I come in and use your phone? And I was like, when the hell was the last time I heard someone ever said that? Some of these phrases are going out of style. They're not going to be used ever again. Why would you want to come inside somebody's house and use their phone? When was the last time you were outside smoking a cigarette or outside around dusk and you hear someone yelling in the distance, Johnny, dinner time, come home. Johnny, dinner time, come home. Because that happened all the time back in the 80s. You don't hear email address, whatever, nerd. There's a period where like people were real resistant to email. And if you brought up email address, it was like that scene in Hot Tub Time Machine where he's talking to that girl. He's like, you have your email address? It's like, what are you talking about? Anyway, brief aside. We'll do a movie review since you love it so much. I watched True Grit, the good one, the newer one. 2010 movie True Grit. What's his name? Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon. I'm Matt Damon. I really generally don't like Western movies, especially the old ones. But yeah, and isn't that Josh Brolin as playing Tom Chaney? Yeah, let's see, cast True Grit. I want to make sure because the performance is really good. No, 1969, dumbass. 2010. All right. I usually don't like Westerns, but yeah, it was Josh Brolin. God, he was skinny in that. But I think this is a really good movie, and it's one of those movies that is a girl power movie that makes sense. All right. This whole like modern like girl power thing was like where it's like Captain Marvel, where it's just a bitchy white chick who's chirping everybody, you know. And granted, this character Maddie, the young girl, where is it? Where is she? Right there. This young girl is kind of chirping everybody. She has a smart mouth, and but you kind of like it, especially for that time period because she was so out of place. The way everyone reacted to her was just kind of like because it was rare to see a smart and shrewd young lady, you know, playing her hand very well. And that was the whole point of her character is that, you know, she came to town to retrieve her father's body who was killed by a guy named Tom Chaney. And she has I guess a slave. I guess as a slave. I guess it's in like an 1860s. And she tells the slave to take the body home and tell her mama not to sign anything until she gets back because she wants to go kill Tom Chaney. And so she negotiates with this guy about the horses, which is probably my favorite scene in the movie, where she's dealing with this, what is he, a livery kind of guy? He sold her dad some horses, and so she's trying to like say we don't need them because he's not there to work the farm. So we don't want them, so you have to keep them. And he's like, no, I sold them fair and square. They're sold. And she's like, no, I want the money back. And he's really like sticking in, you know, really a pain in his ass. And which is good. It's good because, you know, she's accomplishing her objectives and is not necessarily unkind about the way she does her business, you know. Which is, I think, the difference between these modern girl power movies is because a lot of times they're very rude to men, especially in modern girl power movies. But this Maddie character, she is polite-ish enough. Even though Matt Damon's character LaBeef, he says is like there's no sugar to be given with your pronouncements. Like, great lines in this movie. The dialogue was fantastic. No, you give out no sugar with your pronouncements. And it's really good. I like the character Maddie, and I respect her mission in the movie. And her mission is to find Tom Chaney and kill him. She, hopefully herself with her dad's pistol. Big Colt. And that was kind of the point of like the Second Amendment is Samuel Colt made them equal. If Tom Chaney kills your dad and you're a girl of like 12 years old, 13 years old, you can still get a hold of a Colt peacemaker and bring some peace to Tom Chaney. Help him rest in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's great about this movie. So she hires Jeff Bridges there, Rooster Cogburn, and Texas Ranger, what's his name? Shia LaBeouf. Anyway, Shia LaBeouf's cousin, played by Matt Damon. He's a Texas Marshal also looking for Tom Chaney, so he tags along. And through the course of their adventure, you know, they learn to respect the girl and learn to respect each other. It's kind of a good tale. And because I knew I was going to be talking about this movie when I watched it, I went back and watched the old one too. And it's still a good movie. The script is fantastic, but I think the Coen Brothers one, the modern one, is much better. I think the dialogue is much better. Plus, I think not only has obviously, you know, cinematography increased since 1969 when the first one came out, you know, but also the craft of acting has gotten better. Like Josh Brolin. I wanted to make sure I got a picture of him because his role is Tom Chaney, small bit part, but he really played it good. He played like this dumb, vicious man who got his comeuppance. And the scene where Maddie gets the rifle away from him, and the way the music swells, it was fantastic. The Coen brothers, they really have a lot of cinematic talent. You know, they're really good. So when it comes to star ratings, you know, I have to give this movie 12 of 13 stars. And the 1961 version is probably just 1 star less because it's the same story, it's the same tale. It's just that, you know, the modern one is, you know, for a more modern time. Technology has improved, the craft of acting has improved, and Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon and, you know, Josh Brolin and even the girl who plays Maddie did fantastic jobs acting. And if you look back if you like watch the old movie too, you see like, damn, it's John Wayne as John Wayne in every movie. It's the same guy. Was he really acting? So 12 or 13 stars for it. Yeah, I can't give it 13 because it's a remake. I think apparently Hollywood's been out of ideas for a long time. So why don't you come and ask me? Us. We're coming up with story ideas like all the time. We can't stop. Can't stop the signal now. Anyway, let's get into the news worth knowing. It's dry in the winter. Ashy. A lot of hangnails. Whoa. There's got to be a way to turn down the sensitivity on these clicks here. All right. The big story this week is the Biden of Hunter Biden. What did I say? The pardon of Hunter Biden.
Biden to Biden?
The Biden of Hunter Biden? The pardon of Hunter Biden. So federal judge accuses President Biden of attempting to rewrite history in Hunter Biden pardon. Federal judge overseeing Hunter Biden's tax case issued a sharp rebuke of President Biden's claim that his son was unfairly treated, as well as the president's delivery method following his president's last-minute pardon. U.S. District Judge Mark Scarzi, who is based in the Central District of California and was nominated by President-elect Trump, accused President Biden of in a scathing 5-page order of rewriting history with the pardon and suggested the breadth of the pardon granting his son is unconstitutional. Quote, the Constitution provides the president with broad authority to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, but nowhere does the Constitution give the president authority to rewrite history. Judge voices displeasure, blah, blah, blah. He went on to say, rather than providing true and correct copy of the pardon with a notice, Mr. Biden provided a hyperlink to the White House press release presenting a statement by the president regarding the pardon and the purported text of the pardon. In short, a press release is not a pardon. Okay, so it's in the wrong format. You want a PDF of it? Is that it? All right. Obviously, everyone who's interested in like true law and order should be interested in this case. Like we're gonna have to move real quick through the news. So, you should care about this because it's not only a pardon of Hunter. He's trying to pardon himself. So like nobody can investigate the corruption that has taken place throughout from like Obama era to now. Trying to save his own ass. You think he cares? You think he actually cares about that crackhead? Anyway. Illegal immigrant charged in cheerleader's murder. Knew what he was doing. Mom said. Mother of a slain 16-year-old Elizabeth Medina, who was allegedly murdered by a legal immigrant from Mexico in December 2023, says the suspect's request for insanity evaluation only adds to the pain. Rafael Govea Romero, 25, is charged with the capital murder of Elizabeth, who was found dead with stab wounds on December 5th in 2023 in the bathroom of the Edna, Texas apartment she shared with her mother. She broke down. For me, this is what she said, the mother. For me, there's enough evidence determining that is obviously determining the fact that he knew what he was doing. One of the police officers said he seemed to be a professional. So here's the thing when it comes to the insanity plea. I don't think insanity negates or has any effect on culpability. People might say, well, you don't have is it called mens rea? Or you don't have a motive if you're crazy. It's like, no, crazy is the motive. We need to bring back asylums because this is out of hand. Insanities, violent, insane people, the criminally insane people, they could be treated in a prison, but it doesn't change their culpability. Same thing with like people with low intelligence. Oh, I'm too stupid to be responsible. And it's like, what? Doesn't change who murdered them. Anyway. Next story. Gavin Newsom grilled over hefty price tag to help Trump-proof California. These Democrats and the Democratic People's Republic of California. Well, I hope people are leaving that place like crazy. All right, so Gavin Newsom's latest efforts to Trump-proof his state are being slammed as a total waste by some Republicans, particularly as he eyes a chance to sign a bill including $25 million in additional funding for potential legal fights he may have with the incoming administration. Yeah. I wish my elected leaders would spend more of their time solving problems rather than creating more problems. Former California Rep. Doug Ose, a Republican, said on Tuesday, Fox and Friends First. Newsom's effort is to basically fund his campaign for president in 2028. It's just going to be a total waste of money that could be better spent on homelessness or schools and public safety and the like. This is just a charade. Yeah. I can't imagine they'd run that guy. Because there's got to be tons of Californians who are like, Gavin Newsom is just terrible. You know? It's like, don't you think the devil could look handsome? You know? Plus, it's the whole concept of like the Gavin Newsom factor and the, what's his name? Justin Trudeau factor is that women will vote for the cuter one. So the Democrats will always get like a handsome man and they'll put him up there. Ooh, what a dreamboat. The girls are all going to vote for him. Should never have given them the right to vote. Anyway. Oh, sorry. Yeah, next story. So apparently John Favreau's podcasting now. So Obama bros trash Biden for making defenders look stupid with Hunter pardon. 3 former aides to President Obama railed against President Biden for, quote, lying and making his defenders look like they're full of shit by pardoning his son Hunter, after previously saying he wouldn't. John Favreau, John Lovett, Tommy Vitener, often referred to as the Obama roast during their tenure at the White House, discussed the ramifications of Biden's pardon of his son on their Pod Save America podcast on Tuesday. Vitor said he understood Biden's decision on a human level, was frustrated by the president making the defenders of the Democratic Party look stupid by reneging on his pledge not to pardon his son. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe Democrats are stupid because they believe the lies. You know who didn't believe the lie that Hunter was not going to be pardoned? Republicans. Conservatives, anyone with a brain, knew that President Biden was lying. You trusted him explicitly. And now you're like, maybe Democrats are corrupt. Maybe they're notoriously corrupt. How do you not see that? I used to respect John Favreau and John Lovett. Anyway, 2 stories and then we're done. 2 more lighter stories. I'll try to keep sexism out of it. 9-year-old boy finds 60,000-year-old axe at Shoreham Beach in England. I have a question. When I was writing up the notes for this, I wrote axe, A-X-E, in my word processor, and it said it was spelled wrong. Did that screen go off? Oh, okay. But it wouldn't, and the red squiggle was under it, and I was just like, so I took the E off, and then I was fine. Isn't it spelled both ways in English? Or is it one way in American English? Anyway. But 60,000-year-old axe. A young boy from England found a shiny item on the beach that turned out to be a rare ancient item dating back to the late Paleolithic era. The boy, identified by Worthington Museum as Ben Whitten, now 9 years old, discovered a shining rock at Shoreham Beach in Sussex. I was looking around. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to get the quote right. I was looking around and I saw this shiny flint rock, and I thought it looked different from all the other different pebbles and stones, he told the BBC. Over the next few years, Whitten said he kept the shiny rock in his room. He told the BBC constantly losing it and finding it. Trip to Worthington Museum changed everything for the boy. While exploring the exhibits at the museum, he stopped at the Stone Age exhibition and noticed the similarities of the item that he had found, according to the BBC. This led him to a report of his finding to the museum, where many more details were uncovered about the item that he had unearthed. The item turned out to be a hand axe from the late middle Paleolithic period, an era dating back 40 to 60,000 years ago, according to 21 November Facebook post by Worthington Museum, around the time they invented kissing. 60,000 years old. You know, how long have humans been around? You know, think about that. Think about that. See, I don't know, like I'll see a story like that and it'll blow my mind. I love it. Some people are like, you got an old rock. I guess I just saw a thing on Twitter. It's like some girls like writing on Twitter. It's like, oh, my boyfriend and my husband and my boy were like found these sticks and they're so happy with these sticks. And I don't get it. Explain it to me. I don't know. They're cool sticks. They look like blasters or something. I don't know. Let's get into this last story. A real mystery here. Thieves steal 2,500 pies in odd food heist gone wrong. So much waste. Authorities in the United Kingdom recently recovered a stolen van filled with 2,500 pies in the unusual food heist gone wrong. Somebody checked with the Purple Pie Man. See if he has an alibi. The value of the pies is estimated to be 25,000 British pounds or $32,000. The food items were owned by Tommy Banks, a restaurateur who owns 2 Michelin-starred establishments. The vehicle, which was filled with steak and ale pies, as well as a turkey and butternut variety, was supposed to head to the Christmas market in York. The theft of the pies caused a stir on social media earlier this week, leading Banks to call on his followers to find the lost pies. Quote, "Thieves, keep your eyes on the pies," Banks said on X before the van was found. "Help find the pies. Let's try to recover them and feed some people." Puns. Banks also asked the thieves to do the right thing and drop the pies off the community center so the food wouldn't go to waste. The pies were left in the stolen van, Banks said, but are too damaged to be eaten or sold. Ooh, the plot thickens. Check with Jason Biggs. See if Jason Biggs has an alibi. No, we don't need to ask the Knave of Hearts. He only steals tarts. Okay? So don't bother Jack. Leave Jack alone. It's just so much waste. It's rubbish. It's just Oh, it's in England. It's just rubbish. He said on video on Instagram, "Sorry, it's not a happy ending to the story." They're meat pies. The estimated value is what? The pie incident is one of a few unusual food heists who is stealing British food? In October, a group of thieves posed as a whole. They're putting this in plans as a wholesale distributor and stole over 950 wheels of English cheddar. Well, English cheddar is pretty good. Estimated value of the stolen cheese about $390,000. Local residents are asked to be on the lookout for cloth-bound cheddars in a 22-pound or 52-pound format with the tags detached. Nobody's gonna snitch for free cheese. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that cheered me up, that last one. Good. That's good. I want to remind you again that I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Become a patron today. You can also send me money through Cash App. Use the hashtag shockmonkeyradio, all one word. I'd appreciate that. You can also follow me on social media at DNALETSAW on Twitter, at SLRobbins13 on Instagram. And we have Shock Monkey Radio Redux on Facebook. I'm so used to not keeping up with it that I forgot to be keeping up with it last week. So I'll try to put more stuff on the Facebook thing. Shock Monkey Redux on Facebook. This has been Shock Monkey Radio. I'm the Madman, and I love you. Take us a pet.